You were never meant to chase money. You were meant to command it. The secret to making money while you sleep isn't hidden, it's ignored. You already have the tools. You already have the time. You already have the choice. Most people will hear this and go back to work tomorrow, trading another day of life for a few more digits. But not you. You're done working for survival. You're ready to build systems for freedom. You now understand the 3 rules. Build systems that don't need you, multiply what already works, and let your money work harder than you ever could. While others scroll, you'll be scripting your next income stream. While others sleep broke, you'll sleep rich. Not in cash, but in control. You'll start seeing money as a servant, not a master. You'll stop running after opportunities and start designing them. Every second that passes, someone's system is working, someone's idea is earning. So tonight, while the world rests, make this promise. I will never trade my time for money again without building something that grows while I sleep. That's your moment of shift. That's your real awakening. You are not just working for income, you are building a legacy that breathes without you. The rich don't work harder. They work once and let the system repeat forever. So now, the question isn't whether you'll make money while you sleep. The question is, will you finally build the system that lets you rest?
Chapter 1. Stop working, start building systems. You've been taught to work hard, to show up early, to stay late, to grind until your eyes burn and your back aches. But that's not wealth. That's survival. You've been conditioned to believe that hard work equals success. It doesn't. It never did. The world doesn't pay for effort. It pays for results. And results don't come from endless motion. They come from systems that multiply your motion. You can't outwork time. You can only outsmart it. And that's the first shift. Because real wealth doesn't come from what you do. It comes from what keeps working after you stop doing. Point 1. The trap of active income. Active income is a trap dressed as opportunity. It feels safe. It feels honest. You trade 1 hour and they give you money. But what you don't see is the invisible chain tied to every paycheck. The chain that says, "Come back tomorrow." You're not free. You're rented. Most people confuse effort with progress. They run faster but stay in the same loop. Every month starts at 0. Every weekend disappears in anxiety. You've been told to work harder, but harder doesn't mean smarter. Harder doesn't mean richer. Harder just means tired. You have a choice: to keep chasing hours or to start building something that runs without you. That's the key. Because every hour you sell, you lose leverage. And every system you build, you gain it. Look at any person you admire financially. They're not working harder than you. They've just shifted the game. They build something that doesn't need their constant hand on it, something that breathes without their supervision. It could be a piece of code, a channel, a product, a portfolio, a structure that, once built, never sleeps. That's the hidden truth. The rich don't sell time. They sell access. They sell outcomes. They sell systems. You don't need their permission to start. You don't need a degree. You don't even need funding. You need discipline. Because it's not about opportunity, it's about consistency. Not about talent, about systems. Repetition segment. The loop of false progress. You wake up, you go to work. You get paid. You spend, you repeat. And you call it progress. But progress isn't motion. Progress is multiplication. If your income resets every 30 days, you're not building wealth, you're buying time. And time runs out. Listen carefully. If it stops when you stop, it's not freedom, it's dependency. Active income feels good because it rewards effort, but it punishes time, and time is the real currency. That's why most people stay stuck, because effort is addictive. It feels noble, it feels safe, but it's a cage made of applause. Don't fall for it. Every great builder in history stopped working the day they started designing. Design your escape. Design your system. Design your leverage. That's the key.
Point 2. The system mindset. Let's talk about systems. Every millionaire, every single one has them. Amazon doesn't depend on Jeff Bezos waking up early. Airbnb doesn't close when its founders go on vacation. YouTube channels make money while the creator sleeps. That's the truth. Systems don't get tired. Systems don't need rest. Systems don't get emotional. They just execute. You can't build wealth on exhaustion. You build it on execution. So, what is a system? A system is a process that works without your daily involvement, something that creates value on autopilot. That's the difference between working in your business and working on your business. You have a choice, to remain the engine or to become the architect. System over sweat. System over stress. System over survival. That's not a slogan, it's a law. Every time you choose to just do it yourself, you kill a system before it's born. Every time you delegate, automate, or codify, you give birth to freedom. So start small. Automate one task. Document one process. Outsource one repetitive thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be built. Because every small system compounds. And compounding is wealth's favorite language. You don't need to be technical. You need to be consistent. You don't need to know everything. You need to know what repeats. If you can do it twice, automate it. If it happens daily, systemize it. If it drains your energy, delegate it. You don't need their permission. You just need to decide. It's not about being busy. It's about being free. That's the system mindset. Behavioral shift section, the reprogramming. Stop asking, how can I do more? Start asking, how can I do less and achieve more? That single question is worth more than any degree. Most people chase efficiency. Winners chase extraction. Extraction means building something once and benefiting forever. That's the system. Your new goal isn't to work, it's to design work. You're not the employee of your dreams, you're the engineer of them. You're building pipelines, not buckets. Buckets empty, pipelines flow forever. Repeat this until it sticks. I don't trade hours, I build systems. Say it again. I don't trade hours, I build systems. That's not affirmation, that's identity. The identity of a system builder is different. They don't ask for raises, they raise results. They don't chase bosses, they build automation. They don't manage time, they multiply it. And that's the evolution you must make if you ever want to rest while your money works. Point 3. The 3S asset rule. Now let's talk about the foundation of freedom, the 3S asset rule. Every asset you build should be scalable, sustainable, and sleep-proof. Scalable means it grows without proportionate effort.
If it takes twice your energy to earn twice your income, it's not scalable, it's slavery. Example, a digital product, a course, a royalty, an automated store, one-time creation, infinite return. Sustainable means it can survive without constant input. It doesn't collapse when you take a week off. That's the beauty of structure. It supports you even when you stop supporting it. Sleep-proof means exactly what it sounds like. It works while you don't. Your money earns, your content grows, your systems deliver. Even in silence, it moves. Repeat this line in your head until it burns in. I don't trade hours, I build systems. Jobs end, assets endure. And your goal is endurance. Practical system building instructions. So, how do you begin? Step 1. Identify one repetitive task in your life. Something that drains energy but repeats daily. Automate it. That's your first win. Step 2. Create something once. A video, a product, a template, a tool, and make it accessible to the world. That's your first scalable system. Step 3. Reinforce it with time, because systems need consistency before autonomy. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. You're building an invisible army of actions that never sleep, an army that replaces exhaustion with execution. That's wealth. Reinforcement section, the mindset reset. Every time you feel tired, remember, fatigue is proof that you're still trading time for money. Every time you feel stuck, remember you're still the system, not the system builder. You have a choice, to remain busy or to become free. You don't need their permission. You just need the discipline to step back and build. That's the key. Because when your system starts to breathe on its own, you realize the truth. Wealth was never about money. It was about mechanics. Money follows mechanics. Mechanics follow systems. And systems follow design. You're not chasing wealth anymore. You're engineering it. The example, from worker to architect. Let me show you how simple this shift can be. A man spends his days editing videos for clients. Active income. He's good, but every month he starts from zero. Then he creates a course teaching his editing methods. He uploads it once, it sells every week. He adds an email sequence, a payment page, a referral link. Now, while he sleeps, people buy what he built once. That's not luck, that's leverage. Or look at an artist who used to paint for clients. One painting, one payment. Now, she prints her art digitally, sells it online. Same talent, new system. Now her art works while she rests. The difference isn't genius, it's systems. They stopped working. They started building. They stepped away from survival and into structure. That's the shift. Core repetition segment. Say this with me. I build systems, not stress. I create flow, not fatigue. I trade design for discipline, not time for dollars. That's who you are now, a designer of autonomy. Every action you take should serve your system, not your schedule. Every decision you make should build leverage, not labor. You have a choice, always. And choice is the first currency of freedom. Behavioral discipline, the daily practice. Here's your discipline. Each day, before you start working, ask, what can I automate today? What can I delegate today? What can I delete today? That's how system thinkers think. They don't chase chaos, they eliminate it. If you can't systemize your day, you'll never systemize your wealth. So start where you are. Document your process. Build repeatable flows. Turn habits into frameworks. Turn hours into outcomes. Because systems don't care how you feel. They only care how you build. Emotional reset, the illusion of work. Work feels safe because it keeps you distracted. It gives you identity. But busyness isn't purpose. You can be fully booked and fully broke. You can be productive and still powerless. It's not about how much you do, it's about how much keeps doing after you stop. That's the distinction that separates the exhausted from the empowered. You don't need to hustle harder. You need to design smarter. System over sweat. System over stress. System over survival. Repeat it. Own it. Live it. The transition from system to multiplication. You've learned the first rule of freedom. Stop working, start building systems. You understand now that motion isn't money, systems are. That activity isn't success, structure is. That time isn't wealth, leverage is. You've broken the loop of effort. You've seen the pattern of passive creation, and you've begun the process of transformation. But now it's time to multiply what works. Because building a system isn't enough. You must make it grow. So let's go deeper. You mastered your system. Now, let's master your multiplication.
Chapter 2. Multiply. Don't manage. You've been told to manage your time, to manage your money, to manage your life. But tell me this, since when did managing ever make anyone rich? Managers maintain, builders multiply. And if you want to become financially unstoppable, you have to stop managing and start multiplying. Because management keeps you afloat. Multiplication takes you to shore. That's the key. Point 1. The rich don't manage time. They multiply it. Most people believe success is about discipline with time. They say, I just need to manage my schedule better. Wrong. You don't need to manage your time, you need to multiply it. Listen carefully. Every hour you spend doing what someone else could do for $10 an hour is an hour stolen from your future. That's the trap. You've been trained to do everything yourself, to be proud of your grind, to say, I'm a hard worker. But hard work isn't the problem. It's the ceiling. The moment your income depends only on your hours, your life becomes a cage. Because there are only 24 hours in a day, and you can't manage your way to freedom inside a 24-hour box. The rich don't manage hours, they expand them. They build systems, teams, and tools that make 1 hour of their time equal to 10 hours of results. That's what it means to multiply time. When Jeff Bezos built Amazon, he wasn't packing boxes in a warehouse, he built a system that did it for him. When Elon Musk launches rockets, he's not tightening bolts, he's multiplying talent, energy, and execution. They don't ask, how can I do more? They ask, how can I make more happen without me? That's the difference. That's the mindset. And you have a choice. Start asking the right questions. Don't say, how can I finish this faster? Ask, how can I build this so I never have to do it again? Every task you repeat twice is a task you failed to multiply. Repetition without automation is wasted motion. So here's the rule. Don't do it twice, build it once. Write it down, burn it into your mind. Repeat it every time you catch yourself busy. Because busy is broke. Busy is a badge of the poor. The rich build systems so powerful that time bends around them. That's the secret they never taught you in school. School trained you to manage minutes. Wealth demands you to multiply outcomes. You don't need their permission to multiply. You need discipline. Discipline to stop saying yes to everything. Discipline to say no to doing what software, systems, or other people can do better. You're not a robot. You're an architect. Stop managing your clock. Start multiplying your impact. That's the first shift. That's the foundation of wealth. Point 2. Money that works harder than you. Here's a harsh truth. If your money isn't working, you still have a job.
And if your job stops, so does your income. That's not freedom. That's financial slavery dressed up in a paycheck. You've been taught to trade time for money, to work hard, get paid, and then work hard again. But the game changed. The internet multiplied everything: attention, leverage, automation. You're playing in a world where one idea can make money while you sleep, but only if you build it right. Let me give you an example. A man spends $500 building a simple ebook funnel. He writes once, sets it up once, promotes it once, then he walks away. Weeks later, while he sleeps, that funnel is still selling, still earning, still multiplying. That's the goal. Not to work harder, but to make your work harder for you. That's the essence of financial intelligence. Your dollar should clock in when you clock out. Say it again. Your dollar should clock in when you clock out. Because if your money only moves when you do, it's not money, it's labor. You don't get rich by saving. You get rich by multiplying. And you multiply by building vehicles of leverage, assets that grow on their own. There are 3 ways to do it: delegation, pay others to free your time; automation, build tools that never sleep; investment, put your money into vehicles that compound. You can't multiply what you keep locked in your account. Idle cash dies. Active money multiplies. That's why wealthy people don't just earn, they circulate. They move capital through ideas, businesses, and investments that keep working when they stop. When you see a millionaire, you're not looking at a person, you're looking at a network of systems that never sleep. Their assets work the night shift. Their money has a job description. And here's what most people don't understand. You don't need millions to start. You just need to think like one. If you have $100, don't spend it, deploy it. Ask, how can this $100 work for me while I rest? Buy a digital tool that automates a task. Invest in content that keeps selling. Use it to build something repeatable, something scalable. If it dies when you stop feeding it, it's not an investment, it's an expense. But if it grows while you sleep, congratulations, you've multiplied. You have a choice. You can keep managing what you have, or you can start multiplying what you create. That's the key.
Point 3. Compounding, the silent multiplier. Compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, not because it's complicated, because it's invisible. People underestimate the slow, they overestimate the now. But compounding rewards the disciplined, not the desperate. Every dollar you reinvest multiplies its voice. Every skill you refine multiplies your value. Every piece of content you publish multiplies your reach. That's how wealth grows, not by bursts, but by repetition. That's the secret most people can't stand. It's not about speed, it's about staying. Not about brilliance, but consistency. Not about luck, but patience. Look at Warren Buffett. He didn't become a billionaire by chasing trends. He built a machine of compounding. Patient, predictable, powerful. Each year his money grew, then that growth grew, then that growth multiplied itself. That's what compounding is, patience that pays you. The poor see $1 grow to $1.10 and they stop. The rich see $1.10 as the start of $10, then $100, then $10,000. They play the long game. But compounding isn't just about money. It's about momentum. It's about stacking small wins until they become unstoppable ones. You read 1 book a week for a year, 52 books. You post 1 video a day, 365 assets. You save 1 hour a day, 365 hours of freedom. That's compounding. That's multiplication in action. And the same law applies to your energy. Guard it, grow it. Every wasted conversation, every pointless argument drains the capital of your focus. Multiply your attention where it earns, your systems, your learning, your growth. Compounding rewards the disciplined. You don't need to be the smartest.
You need to stay. You don't need to win today. You need to keep multiplying tomorrow. That's how legacies are built. That's how empires rise. So here's your real challenge. Stop chasing intensity. Start building consistency. Because consistency compounds faster than chaos. Every step forward is multiplied by time. Every decision to invest in yourself multiplies across years, and every disciplined day pays you interest forever. You have a choice. You can keep managing your time or start multiplying your life. That's the key. Real-world multiplication habits. Let's make it practical. How do you multiply in the real world? Number 1. Build once, sell forever. Stop doing work that ends when it's done. Write a book, create a course, record a video. These are assets that multiply your effort across time. That's how creators, authors, and educators become rich, not because they worked more, but because they multiplied once and reaped forever. Number 2. Automate your repetition. If you do something twice, automate it. Emails, orders, invoices, posts. These are not jobs, they're code. You're not a manager, you're a designer of systems. 3. Reinvent busy. Being busy doesn't mean being productive. From now on, measure your day not by hours worked, but by systems created. Did you build something that saves you time tomorrow? If yes, you multiplied. If no, you managed. Number 4. Invest in leverage. Leverage is the bridge between poor and wealthy. Poor people trade hours. Wealthy people trade ideas. Start looking for tools, people, and systems that expand your output without expanding your exhaustion. 5. Track your multipliers. Every week, ask yourself, what multiplied this week? If the answer is nothing, your time was managed, not multiplied. Adjust, redirect, rebuild. The hard truth. Multiplying means letting go. You can't multiply while you control everything. You have to trust systems. You have to invest before you see results. You have to endure the slow before it turns fast. That's why most people never do it. They're addicted to visible progress. They want to see immediate proof. But wealth doesn't reward impulse. It rewards structure. You don't need their permission to grow. You need discipline to stay the course. Because every builder looks crazy at first, until their systems start printing money. Then suddenly, they look lucky. But it wasn't luck. It was leverage. It was compounding. It was multiplication. So here's the truth. If you're still managing your money, you're still playing small. If you're still managing your time, you're still thinking short term. If you're still managing your life, you're still surviving. You're meant to multiply, not maintain. To create, not just continue. To build something that works harder than you ever could. Final words of Chapter 2. Remember, management protects what you have. Multiplication creates what you don't. And that's the difference between the worker and the wealthy, between the doer and the designer, between the tired and the free. You have a choice. You can manage your limits or multiply your potential. You can play small or build systems that play for you. It's not about working more. It's about working once and letting that work multiply forever. That's the mindset. That's the key. You've learned how to stop working and start building systems. You've learned how to multiply time, money, and momentum. Now it's time to talk about what truly sustains it all, the mindset that keeps you multiplying even when the world slows down.
Chapter 3. Sleep is your test. Let money work for you. Sleep. It's the one test every entrepreneur fails. Because most people can't rest when they stop working. Their income stops too. That's the truth. If your bank account doesn't grow while you sleep, you're not free yet. You're still employed by fear. You're still chained to activity. You're still mistaking exhaustion for progress. You say you want financial freedom, but freedom isn't about working less. It's about building systems that keep working without you. That's the test. That's the measure of mastery. Your sleep reveals the truth about your money. When you close your eyes tonight, will your bank account still breathe? Will your business still move? Will your content still sell? If not, you're not free. You're just tired. And you don't need their permission to change that. You have a choice. Chapter 3, Point 1. The Freedom Formula. Let's talk about the formula every rich person lives by. System plus automation plus time equals freedom. That's not theory, that's not motivation, that's math. Every system you build, every task you automate, every hour you protect creates leverage. And leverage buys back your life. Most people think freedom means quitting their job, but the truth, quitting without a system just means trading one cage for another. You're still working, you're just the new boss. Freedom is when your system runs your business. Freedom is when automation replaces repetition. Freedom is when time stops being your enemy and becomes your ally. That's the formula. System, automation, time, freedom. System is the structure. Automation is the engine. Time is the multiplier. Freedom is the result. And here's the brutal truth. If your income depends on you showing up every day, you don't own a business. The business owns you. Let me say that again. If you have to be awake for money to move, you're not the master of your system, you're the servant of your schedule. That's why the rich don't build jobs, they build machines. Machines that multiply effort. Machines that never sleep. Machines that grow while they rest. Because rest is not laziness. Rest is proof of mastery. You have a choice. You can keep chasing work, or you can build the machine that works for you. That's the key. Chapter 3, Point 2. Turning rest into revenue. Let's make this real. Let's talk about turning your rest into revenue. Think about the YouTuber who uploads one video and it earns views, ad revenue, and affiliate clicks for years. That's not luck, that's system. Think about the investor who puts money into a stock, then goes to sleep while dividends roll in. That's not magic, that's automation through capital. Think about the course creator.
They record once, launch once, automate once, then, while they sleep, someone across the world buys the course. That's not hustle, that's design. Every example has one common thread. Rest is the reward of systems. When your system is right, your rest becomes profitable. Your downtime becomes income time. Your silence starts speaking in dollars. You see, money doesn't care about how long you're awake. It only cares about how well you build. If your work stops when you stop, it's a trap. If your work continues when you rest, it's leverage. That's why most people never reach freedom. They build effort, not engines. They confuse doing more with earning more. They burn out instead of breaking through. But the wealthy think differently. They see rest as the proof of power. They measure success not by how hard they work, but by how long their money keeps working when they don't. Rest is not retreat. Rest is readiness. Rest is regeneration. Rest is the receipt of a system that runs without you. So ask yourself tonight, can I go offline for a week and still earn? If not, build until you can. You don't need their permission to step back. You need the discipline to build forward. It's not about control. It's about structure. It's not about effort. It's about systems. It's not about grind. It's about growth. Because when your systems are strong, you sleep like the rich. And when your systems are weak, you dream like the desperate. That's the difference. That's the key.
Point 3. The shift from hustle to flow. Now let's talk about the hardest transformation of all. The shift from hustle to flow. The world glorifies hustle. Grind until you make it. Sleep when you're dead. Work 100 hours a week. But hustle is survival energy. It's the energy of scarcity. It's the voice of fear saying, if I stop, I'll fall. Hustle builds survival. Systems build sovereignty. You can't hustle your way to freedom. You can only design your way there. Because the real goal is not to work harder. It's to make hard work unnecessary. Let that sink in. The poor worship hustle because it gives them control. The rich design flow because it gives them freedom. And you have a choice. Do you want to live in the constant anxiety of doing more, or in the calm confidence of knowing it's already done? Hustle says push. Flow says place it right once. Hustle says more hours. Flow says better systems. Hustle says keep climbing. Flow says build the elevator. And that's the shift most people never make. Because it takes courage to stop moving and start building. It takes courage to pause the grind and create the design. Hustle is reactive. Flow is intentional. Hustle responds. Flow creates. Hustle burns energy. Flow channels it. Every billionaire you admire has mastered this. They don't run faster. They run smoother. They don't chase work. They chase optimization. Their calendar isn't full of to-do lists. It's full of systems reviews. Because once your system flows, your life flows. Once your business runs without friction, so does your mind. And that's when money stops being a chase and becomes a current, flowing toward you, not away from you. That's the difference between a worker and a wealth builder. The worker runs, the builder routes. The worker exhausts, the builder engineers. You have a choice. You can live in the loop of hustle or in the design of flow. That's the key. Building flow, the practical framework. Let's talk about how to do this, because this isn't just philosophy. It's structure, it's strategy. Here's your framework. Audit your hustle. Write down everything you do that requires you. Every repeated task, every manual effort, every time you check in. That's your hustle list. Your goal? Erase it. Automate the repetitive. If you've done it twice, you should never do it again. Use tools, use AI, use automation. Software is the new employee that never sleeps. Let it earn while you rest. Delegate the non-essential. If it's not your genius zone, it's someone else's. Pay others to do what drain you. Your time is not for tasks, it's for thinking. Design for flow, not force. Build your business around your rhythm, not against it. Energy peaks and dips, use them. Schedule creation when you're sharp, reflection when you're calm, rest when you're tired. That's how systems sustain. Remember, flow is not chaos, it's control in motion. You don't need to chase peace when your systems create it, and that's the game. That's how wealth feels effortless. The truth about wealth and sleep. Let's get real for a second. Most broke people can't sleep, not because they're lazy, but because their mind is always racing. They can't rest because they haven't built anything that rests for them. That's financial insomnia. It's the anxiety of unfinished systems. The mind keeps working because the money won't. But the wealthy, they sleep deeply because their systems never stop. Their money breathes while they don't. Their empire grows while they dream. When you build right, rest becomes productive. Your pillow becomes your paycheck, and your peace becomes your proof. You don't have to grind forever. You don't have to fear slowing down. You just have to build better. Because when your system works, you can finally stop chasing. And when you stop chasing, wealth starts finding you. That's the moment you cross the line from working for money to letting money work for you. That's not a fantasy, that's freedom. You have a choice. You can keep managing chaos, or you can master calm creation. You can live on adrenaline, or you can live on alignment. That's the key. The real definition of freedom. Freedom isn't luxury. It's not cars, it's not watches. It's peace. It's control over your time and confidence that your wealth won't die when you rest. Freedom is when sleep earns as much as sweat. Freedom is when your money shows up even when you don't. Freedom is when your life pays dividends every single day. You want to test your freedom? Don't check your followers, don't check your paycheck, check your sleep. Because how deeply you rest reveals how deeply you've built. If your mind is restless, your system is weak. If your system is strong, your mind is free. That's the test, that's the truth, that's the standard. The closing truth. You started this journey learning how to stop working and start building systems. Then you learned how to multiply, not manage. Now you understand the final truth, that rest is the highest level of wealth. When you can sleep peacefully knowing your assets, your automation, and your systems are earning for you, you've made it. Not because you're rich, but because you're free. You've broken the cycle of fear, you've mastered the flow of time, and you've turned rest into revenue. That's the test, that's the reward, that's the key. So tonight when you lay your head down, ask yourself, will my money work while I sleep? If the answer is yes, congratulations. You've graduated from survival to sovereignty. You've built the kind of wealth that breathes without you. If the answer is no, good, because now you know what to build next. Now you know the standard. Now you know what freedom feels like before you have it. Keep building systems. Keep multiplying results. Keep mastering your sleep. Because the world doesn't need more workers, it needs more architects of freedom. And that's you, if you have the discipline to build it. You have a choice. You don't need their permission, you just need the system. And once it's built, rest, because your money will keep working for you. That's the test, that's the truth, that's financial freedom.
You were never meant to chase money. You were meant to command it. The secret to making money while you sleep isn't hidden, it's ignored. You already have the tools. You already have the time. You already have the choice. Most people will hear this and go back to work tomorrow, trading another day of life for a few more digits. But not you. You're done working for survival. You're ready to build systems for freedom. You now understand the 3 rules. Build systems that don't need you. Multiply what already works. Let your money work harder than you ever could. While others scroll, you'll be scripting your next income stream. While others sleep broke, you'll sleep rich. Not in cash, but in control. You'll start seeing money as a servant, not a master. You'll stop running after opportunities and start designing them. Every second that passes, someone's system is working. Someone's idea is earning. So tonight, while the world rests, make this promise. I will never trade my time for money again.
without building something that grows while I sleep. That's your moment of shift. That's your real awakening. You are not just working for income. You are building a legacy that breathes without you. The rich don't work harder. They work once and let the system repeat forever. So now the question isn't whether you'll make money while you sleep. The question is, will you finally build the system that lets you rest?